Hey, you guys. It's me, Kenny McCormick, finally back with Doki Allergic Club Plus. As you can see, I made some changes with the desktop here, since I'm playing it on the console. As this whole desktop here, I changed it to Europe because, you guys know how I feel about her. Last time I play this, which has been a long time, I recently finished one of the side stories, Trust Part 1, and I unlocked Part 2 of it, so let's see what this one is all about. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. Oh, I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings and letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? She's gonna tell her, huh? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said it so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need it the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends still look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Oh, another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy, so if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Allergic Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in a way that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way in your heart, or whatever. So, I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. This conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, wanna teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about the recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You kinda just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You just start writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn those feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first, and then make it to sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad when you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage when you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right in the beginning. I understand? Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Mako pulls out a pen and paper and starts writing on. You know, it doesn't look like she is. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out, "You idiot," as she writes it down. No, keep it. Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. That was just... Well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica writes, "You idiot." She stares at the paper. The words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact same thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks, I do too. Me, I mean. Also you, of course. Hehe. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Phew. Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to go work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it! Monica and Sayori can proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Okay, I thought it was gonna end right there. It'll unlock part 3. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one to the club. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. Oh, must be Yuri. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Right the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that, well, one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully Monica and Sayori had thoughts that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be present if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? Ledger Club is truly beginning to take form. With that, the weight on Monika's shoulders only becomes heavier. The big club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monika was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Monika pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blotch of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monika lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the blank ink smears across the paper, ruining Monika's canvas. Spite for herself, Monika presses her pen down once more, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monika. Just move your hand. Monika writes. Oh, that's the smears. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Oh. Monika slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. Yeah, she couldn't think of anything, huh? The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monika hears Sayori approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Me too. Oh? Sayori, having a bad day? You too. The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monika's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. But now that Sayori, can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Even social security number. Sayori gazes at Monika with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monika takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Oh, oh. Sayori. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it... Oh, she's crying. Then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is, like, screaming at me to stop. Like, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It feels right. I mean, maybe it's a part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the Ledger Club. I trust you, more than I'm scared. At those words, Monika stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monika's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monika waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts I have. It's so much easier just to smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what the Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Oh, because I'm guessing her suicidal thoughts would actually make everyone feel depressed themselves? I think it's something like that. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. Ahaha. Oh, just crying again. So silly. The club is only 2 people, and it already means this much to me. Thanks, Sayori. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. So brave and so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you like. Oh. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulders. Through the contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that out of all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really hopes that no one new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I have ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she spoke in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppressed a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. That is not true. I'm not good at anything. It feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. Jesus, Sayori. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would. You have so much value. To me and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really need that. You coming here was the best thing that could ever happen. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what brought you here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gentle nod. No more words are needed between them. That's very, very wholesome there, I guess. The two share their embrace for a while longer. Oh, imagine they just start kissing. Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. Like a therapist. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy, thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course, it'll always be your choice. But if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. It's like she's like a therapist, but she does charge money for like appointments. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me feel that made me tired and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up to it. No, I want to. I mean, I could say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. Oh, is it Yuri? The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face seems familiar. No. Oh, you can just cut it off right there? Oh, that's it. That's all for now. But now it's time for the main game.